Welcome to Chatting with CHA, a series featuring interviews with CHA's industry thought leaders. I'm Marketing Communications Specialist Adria Campbell, and today I'm happy to introduce Toby Heath. He is our project manager and project team leader for life safety and security. Toby, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Adria. I'm looking forward to it today.
Me too. Your work is all about peace of mind and minimizing security risks in public and private facilities. Can you give us an idea of the breadth of the security and safety challenges that our clients are facing today?
Sure. That's a very open question, but I will pick a couple of different avenues to discuss today. So, from a physical security perspective, our clients today are challenged with protecting their assets, all while having a reduced budget. So year over year, their budgets seem to be decreasing, as well as the threats on those assets are increasing. And then you take into consideration the increased ingenuity of the modern day criminal. Security often becomes a reactive measure rather than a proactive one. Reactive in the sense that most clients wish they had done more prior to the negative security event. Security events are costly, right? From replacement of stolen assets to loss of intellectual property to, most importantly, reputation. Reputation for our clients and most businesses takes years to develop, sometimes decades. And one negative security event can be compromising that reputation within minutes or seconds. So most importantly, planning, right? Planning includes conducting assessments that will identify the vulnerabilities, the potential threats, and then recommendations to mitigate them. And the most important aspect to an assessment is implementation of those recommendations.
And it's interesting that you mentioned security often becoming a reactive measure rather than a proactive one. I think having that peace of mind really does go a long way in today's society. What are some preventative measures that can be used, and what types of buildings would you use them in?
Sure. So when we think about security, there are security fundamentals that we utilize for every type of our projects or clients. And the first fundamental is deter. So deterrence is often the most cost-effective security implementation. From proper exterior lighting to visible security cameras with proper signage, proper wayfinding for visitors as they come from the public property to the private property. Preventive measures are often underestimated in regards to their effectiveness. Another one that comes to mind is property maintenance. It's a very important preventive measure that's often undervalued. A properly maintained property, tongue twister, will let potential criminals know that this property is cared for, looked after, and if there was something negative to happen on that property, it would be caught right away and respondents would act accordingly. Some examples that we use for property maintenance are clear line of sight. So as you look from inside the building to the outside of the building, being able to canvass the whole property quickly and see something that's out of place. We also abide by property landscaping. So 3-7 rule is something that we talk about. 3 foot is the highest the bush can be trimmed to. And then 7 feet is the clearance underneath the tree canopy. Again, the 3-7 rule really reinforces that clear line of sight. Most importantly, security practices can be and should be applied to all types of buildings, right? So schools, colleges, hospitals, factories, our buildings, commercial buildings, retail, anything that has an asset needs to have a security measure in place to protect that asset. It's also very important at this point to identify that human life is an asset. It's, if not the most important asset, because it's irreplaceable. All of our projects at CHA are geared towards protecting human life.
That's a great point. I think often those preventative measures are overlooked, but they can be the most cost-effective security implementation that we do have. Can you describe some of the latest security technology and some of the systems that are being implemented today?
Sure, I definitely can. Before we do that, though, I would like to talk about security master planning. While it's not a technology or a system component by definition, it can be often more important than those. So proper planning will help ensure end users are investing in the security aspects to their facility that will give them the most ROI. In regards to technology or systems, the industry is ever changing and improving, thank goodness, at an alarming rate. While some technologies are bleeding edge, meaning that they are still vetting their reliability, many technologies are proven and can provide today's end user with a viable tool at a reduced cost. Just some examples that we've seen come out in the last, I'd say, 5 years: active shot detection. So these are detectors placed within the facility that will detect a shot being fired, either the audio or the sonic waves. Um, some others are early event detections, such as vaping, elevated voice, trigger words, swear words, keywords, chemical. Another aspect that we think about in regards to the technology of today is video analytics. It's a great buzzword. It's been around for 10 or 15 years. But since it's been around for so long, it's become almost free on most video surveillance systems and or cameras. So when we think about video analytics, we can analyze video autonomously for threshold crossing. So if somebody crosses a certain threshold, we can be notified. We can do object left behind. We think about the airports leaving baggage behind. We would like to be notified right away if that's happening. And then traffic direction. So if the traffic for this area is east to west and we have one person going west to east, we want to be notified right away. Those are all things that are in video analytics today, and 99% of them are free in the systems we specify today. Lastly, I'll talk about is access control. Obviously, keeping the people in our building safe is very important. Also, notifying people if there's unauthorized people in the building. So we think about those types of systems and technologies. Those are card readers. We have our typical badge, right? But now we can use our phone to access facilities. Motion detectors to notify us if somebody's in a place where they shouldn't be. Door contacts to notify us if a door has been open unauthorized, or even propped open, right? We think about a K-12 setting where we want to make sure all the doors are closed at all times. There's other various technologies, but access control is another place where technology has advanced quite a bit lately.
And then switching gears for just a moment, can you tell us what does the future hold for life safety and security in our industry?
Sure. So if I got my crystal ball out, I would focus around the fact that it's ever evolving, right? But we always tend to specify systems and technologies based on the current threat or the recent past current threats, right? The notion that newer, better, and cheaper products are constantly being released into the market is a double-edged sword. Good in the sense that the manufacturers are pushing the capabilities of the technologies. Not so good in the sense that some products are not 100% vetted, resulting in a false sense of security for our end users, and in the end, creating a huge legal liability. So, when our customers are investing thousands, sometimes millions of dollars in security improvements, it's highly advisable that you have a non-biased security professional assist in the recommendation of the technology or product to mitigate that risk.
I think that's a great point. Technology is always changing, and it's important that we change along with it. It's been great chatting with you, Toby. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Adria.
And if you would like to contact Toby or learn more about life safety and security, visit chacompanies.com under Changemakers for his contact information, along with this recording and other episodes of Chatting with CHA. Also, be sure to check out our full discussion on the brand new Chatting with CHA podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for watching. We're going to be chatting again soon.